This episode is brought to you by Kavanaugh's Grill, one of my favorite places to eat and drink in any PA. They've got one of the best outdoor patios with 13 TVs and over 20 beers on tap. You can also dine inside at this cozy Irish-style pub where your beer never goes empty. Did I mention how delicious their food is? Their in-house smoked brisket, barbecue ribs, and wings are to die for. So grab your friends and have a drink on me at Kavanaugh's. Mention code STACKS for one free draft beer with purchase of any entree when you dine in. Located at 163 North Main Street in Mountaintop, Kavanaugh's is open at 4 p.m. during the week and 12 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday during football season. Dine in today at Mountaintop's only Irish-style pub. This episode is brought to you by the Pest Rangers. Finding insects in your home can be a real pest. I know I felt that way when I discovered termites living rent-free in my house. But thanks to the team at the Pest Rangers, I'm no longer bugging out over this issue. So if any creepy crawlers are cramping your style, there's no ifs, ands, or bugs about it. You gotta call the Pest Rangers. For more information on how to rid your home from unwanted pests, call the Pest Rangers today at 570-826-1114 or visit them online at thepestrangers.com. This episode is brought to you by Burn, the fitness company behind the Today Show approved Burn Board. If I'm being honest, working out can be a real chore, especially as a new dad in desperate need of sleep and cardio. Burn is founded by NEPA native Jimmy T. Martin, and his Burn Board offers a low-impact core and cardio experience unlike anything I've done before. They have hundreds of on-demand workouts that are great for beginners, seasoned athletes, and out-of-shape podcast hosts who love supporting small businesses. My wife and I use it pretty frequently throughout the week, and it's honestly a great way to burn a ton of calories without burning a ton of cash. Not to mention, it's a great tool for skiers, runners, wrestlers, and hockey players. Jimmy is offering all On the Stacks listeners 15% off when they use the code STACKS15. Visit theburn.com today to get 15% off your purchase with code STACKS15 at checkout. Again, that's theburn, THEBRRN.com to get 15% off your purchase with code STACKS15. It's time to get on board today with Burn.
My brand's all about perseverance. You know, my brand is a representation of me and going past any limits that may present themselves along the way. So the slogan is Unveil the Truth. The brand is Star Mia. And Unveil the Truth means to uncover any type of limitations that pop up as you're going by. You know, they'll come up. They're gonna come up. If you're going for something, there's gonna be some sort of obstacle or limitation. So when it gets there, be like, oh, this is you. And then you gotta just stay down. You gotta stay 10 toes down and really lock in and jump the hurdle.
Oh yeah, whoa. Look, they can never keep me down, I'm going. And if I ever fail, just know I'll go again. I never quit, cause I know that every loss may lead to another win. I'm going up.
Hi, I'm Bill Corcoran Jr. This is the On the Stacks podcast. Today, I'm chatting with Mia Hopkins, number 6 of the World Famous Harlem Globetrotters. What's up, podcast? It's Bill Corcoran Jr., host of the On the Stacks podcast here in the Blue Door studio, protected by our friends at Ritchie Security Solutions. Mia Mighty Hopkins, welcome back to part 2 of the show.
Thank you for having me back, Bill.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to have you here. Welcome home.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
Been a journey, to say the least.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, Mia was on the podcast like almost exactly a year ago.
Yeah.
Episode 97, back when it was just audio only. So like this part 2 is it's gonna be the real deal.
Yeah, let's go.
You know? So all right. So you just got in, literally.
Yep.
But by the time the show comes out, so it's gonna be a little delayed, but you're home for the holiday, and I'm pumped to have you back in the studio here. And where you been the last year? You've been to like a bazillion countries, right?
Been to a lot of countries. Knocked off 17 more.
17 more. Mm-hmm. How many have you been to total?
32.
32. Holy smokes. Can you name them all? No, I won't do that to you.
I have them all actually written down in like my vision book.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
What's the vision book about?
I just have some few things in there. I've had it for a while actually, and just some goals that I've had, and I've got to highlight some of those out. So that gives them more power. You know, once you see them highlighted, you're like, okay, these came real. Now let me work on these other ones here.
So this vision book, when did you start this?
I started it when I was overseas.
Okay.
I found a notebook that I really liked.
Like this was before the Globetrotters, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you just started jotting down like places you wanted to go, like goals?
Yeah.
What
goals,
else?
big goals.
Like what? Give me an idea.
WNBA.
What else?
Playing on the Brazil national team. Being an MVP. Traveling to Fiji. Having my own boat. Just to name a few.
How many things have you crossed off the list?
I think about 4 or 5.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So it works.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is it? Is this like manifesting?
Yes.
Yeah? You big into that?
Yeah, I am.
Tell me about it.
Well, I think too, how it came about, like the Globetrotters and everything, how that came about was mystical on its own. And I wasn't expecting it. I actually didn't have that one written down. So for it to come from left field.
This is interesting. Yeah, this is interesting.
Came out of nowhere. And I actually read the book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. I don't know if you've ever heard or read about that.
I need to get back on my reading game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Deepak.
Okay.
Yeah. So it talks about detachment in that and the wisdom of the uncertainty. So just like the wisdom of the universe. And I believe that, I had my intentions and I had a really strong passion for basketball. And this Globetrotters thing was kind of a mix of everything put together, and I wasn't even realizing that. I was so narrow-minded on WNBA and I want to go now, and then this came out of nowhere.
Were you impatient?
I was impatient.
Why?
I just felt like I deserved it. I wanted it now, but the universe always has the best plans.
The goals are already there.
Yeah. We just got to get them.
Yeah. You just got to follow the path.
Yeah.
Hashtag TTP. Trust the process.
Seriously.
Do you believe in that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So like you were in the process, but as you said, like maybe a little impatient.
Yeah.
Right? Because you just want to like crush it and do big things.
Yeah.
Right? Which you were.
Yeah. Right.
So, but for people that may have already heard part of your story if they listened to your first episode, but kind of for maybe some of the new people, if they don't want to have to go back and listen to that episode, the whole thing, which you should, by the way. But if they don't, just give people like a quick little background of how the Globetrotters thing came about for you and where you were at in your life when that happened.
Okay, so brief story.
Yeah, give me the brief story, and if everybody wants the detailed story, go back and listen to 97.
Facts. All right. So, I played in college, and then from there I decided I was going to play overseas. And then I did play overseas, played in 3 countries, and I had a little injury, had to come home, and then COVID hit. So during COVID, I was just kind of trapped here, to say the least. And I was just like, what am I going to do to get out of here? So I started cold calling WNBA agents, got linked up with someone. She tried to send me to Iran. I wasn't trying to go there. And so, well, I actually was very open. My mom wasn't trying to let me go there. But at that point, I was pretty desperate. So I was like, give me anything.
Wherever I can play.
Yeah.
Send me.
Yeah. So I didn't end up going there. That didn't work out. So I was like, do you have any other opportunities? And she had an opportunity for me to go to San Antonio, Texas and train with Tim Springer, who's a trainer for the Spurs, and he has a nice clientele of athletes. So I was like, all right, I'm moving to Texas for now. And I trained with him for 2 months prior to the combine. Combine was in April, and it was a 1-day combine. And I was just talking about this on the other podcast. I just was not in flow on this day. Like, there's flow, and then there's the opposite of flow. I was the opposite of flow, and I couldn't get myself out of it. And I just had a bad day all around. And it wasn't that I wasn't like good enough. I just wasn't playing good. So then I was just mad.
You get frustrated.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So it was just no bueno.
Yeah.
So from that, that was a big hit, and I had to just take the L. And I remember my mom saying, sometimes God works in mysterious ways. God wants you to trust him. But in that moment, I'm just like, what am I trusting? Like, we had a deal. Like, I felt like me and God were here with it. Like, I did my part. And then
hold up your end of the bargain.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, God, what's up?
Yeah.
And so I was actually very upset. And when she said that, I just remember just how I felt like when she said that. I was just like, I couldn't understand. Like I couldn't comprehend it. And then months later, I ended up going back to play on a minor league team in Texas. First game, completely dislodged my shooting arm, completely torn labrum. Like people are telling me I might not ever play basketball again. So I flew back up here, got the MRI, found out my ligaments weren't torn. So they gave me the choice if I wanted surgery. Highly recommended, but I was like, no way. I don't got time for that.
I gotta play.
Yeah. So decided to go physical therapy route. By the time I actually seen an actual physical therapist, like I was doing stuff on my own, like at Planet Fitness and stuff. And as soon as I went to the actual PT, they were like, are you sure you have this injury? They were asking me to see like the MRI reports and stuff. And I was able to do a push-up. So my recovery was very fast for the degree of injury which I had. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to go back to Texas just to, watch my team win. I didn't want to get stuck up here in the rat race, so they say, and get a job and get stuck. So I was like, I'm going back to Texas so I could train, be with my team, and just continue on this journey. I didn't know where I was going at that point because, I already took the L. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to just keep training like indefinitely. It just seemed like I was training indefinitely.
Just trust the process.
Yeah. Had to.
Right.
So from that moment, that was the ultimate surrender, when I did my arm, like there is no other choice but to surrender to life and to trust the process. At that point, I already did everything else, gave up all my money, my time, everything. So now my arm's gone. So I'm like, all right, like you have me now. I'm just surrender now.
You're right.
So from there, that's when I went back to Texas and miraculously got a random phone call from Isaiah Walker, who was my high school AAU coach. And he called me and he's like, yo, I got you a trial for the Harlem Globetrotters. And that was out of nowhere. At that point, like I said, I didn't have any money. I was staying with one of my teammates on her couch. So I didn't have anything at that point. And he called me out of the blue. So for that to happen just the way that it did and like flip my life upside down, I don't take anything like for granted. And I don't think anything is unachievable.
Nothing.
Mm-mm.
Nothing.
No.
Zero.
0
to 100. Right?
0.
Yeah. I love it. I love your mindset.
Thank you.
We were talking about this a little before we came on the show, and I'm a big mindset guy too myself. We connect on that level.
Yeah.
For sure. So let's talk about that a little bit. But first, also I want to circle back to like you said about your flow. Mm-hmm. Like getting in the flow. Like how do you get into flow?
That's a great question. That's such a just hard question / inspiring question. Like I feel like everyone wants to know the answer to that question.
Right? Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few different ways. I think you can put yourself there vibrationally by listening to different frequencies and sounds or music or, whatever you're into. Some people can eat a peppermint and get into flow. There's certain things I think for everyone. So I think what really resonates with you is probably the best for you.
What works for you?
I like sounds. I definitely like sounds. And just also closing my eyes sometimes, like there's a lot going on in this outside world. We don't always just close our eyes and realize that we can choose to see whatever we want. Yeah.
So like, all right. So what do you do? Like, do you have like a pre-game, pre-practice ritual like that you do? Like listening to sounds, music? Like what is it?
It's nothing the same every time. It switches up, but I would say definitely clearing my mind, to say the least, like meditating or listening to sounds, sometimes a particular song.
What kind of music you into?
Mostly rap.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like what? Who's your favorite? Who are you listening to right now?
I think Drake's the GOAT.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yo.
So I'm not switching up.
Like what about who'd you grow up with though? Like what were some like your childhood?
Lil Wayne, I'm Young Money.
Yeah, on the way. As soon as you walked in, that's what I had played, and you called that out like right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lil Wayne. Mm-hmm. I love it. Anyone else? Growing up? I mean, he was and still is the GOAT.
Facts.
Yeah. Drake is also the GOAT, but like a newer GOAT.
Newer GOAT, yep.
Yeah.
Drake, Lil Wayne. Trying to think of who else really like influenced me. I like some old school. I like Tupac and Biggie as well. So I listened to that a little bit growing up.
For sure. Yeah. But yeah, Drake, I think we all discovered Drake because of Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's where he came up, right?
Yeah.
At least from what I think. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
I think I went to a Lil Wayne concert up at Montage one time and Drake was there like singing Best I Ever Had, like, and no one, I mean, everybody knew, I guess at that time, who knew who he was, maybe because of that song.
Yeah.
But like, I remember seeing him, I'm like, oh, this guy's good, right? But like, had no idea
what he was
going to become.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. And that was in like 2006 maybe, I think maybe when that song came out. This was like, I think maybe summer of 06 or something like that.
Wow.
Give or take a year, right? But yeah, like crazy.
I know, right?
Like the dude is like legendary, like beyond legendary.
Agreed.
I love it. All right, so you get fired up with certain types of music, sounds.
Yeah.
What are the sounds?
You can just look them up on YouTube. There's a variety of different sounds. There's waves, brain waves, and then there's different frequencies, and then you have classical music, which also is different frequencies.
I like classical music.
Yeah, it's actually really good for you. There's actually a study done on plants, and they had some that were exposed to classical music and some that weren't, and the ones that were exposed to classical music grew faster.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This is wild. So me and you are growing faster.
Yeah.
Our brains are growing better and faster, right? Because
Yeah.
we're listening to classical music.
Yeah.
I love this. I knew I was listening to it for a reason.
It's good.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just like, I don't know, it's just like relaxing.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it is. Like sometimes I'm just in the mood.
Yeah, put you in tune.
And I just have like a playlist on Pandora. And like, to be honest, like you could probably ask me like, well, who? And like, I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I really don't pay attention to like a lot of the names.
Right.
But it's like symphony this, symphony that.
It's just the sound.
Everybody knows, you know,
Yeah.
and like, it's just, I don't know. It doesn't matter what it is to me, at least for me. And I just listen to it. It's just like, it's like Zen.
It is. It really
Right?
is. I listen to it sometimes when I even work out and just shoot.
Do you?
Yeah.
Like practicing?
Yeah.
Headphones on, classical music,
Or sometimes I just have it blaring. People
Yeah.
walk by and hear Beethoven.
shoot or shoot,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Buckets. So, all right. So go back to like the mindset thing. Like what else for you, around that topic is like things that you think about, things that you try to do in your everyday life.
Definitely perseverance. Just keeping at it no matter how it looks on the outside, no matter what anyone else says, because people doubt you all along the way, and only you know what's inside you. And it could be your coach, it could be your dad, like it could be anybody, and they think they're trying to protect you or what, but really only you know what's inside of you and what you are capable of doing.
So for you mentioned like, Dad, did you have people that like doubted you or your ability or anything?
All along the way.
The haters.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I mean, but they don't know they're hating. You know, like some people are just, they love you and they want the best for you. But then other people are just talkers. Other people are just like, oh, she's the best in the valley and stuff like that. And hey, maybe people were along the way, but I think the reason why I'm still here and doing this is because I haven't given up. And I choose to allow adversity to push me forward, and I don't make excuses. I don't blame coaches. I mean, I just make moves for real. I've transferred before because of a coach, and I just lock in and back to ground zero, really.
I love it. I love this. I love it.
Thank
Like
you.
I love it because I just, we had this, we kind of talked, I think, a little bit about this stuff a year ago when you were on, and to be able to see, you now a year later, after playing for the Globetrotters for now a year, and you're going into your sophomore season, as
year.
you said, right?
Yeah.
But the perseverance for you, I mean, you've been through some shit.
Yeah.
You've been through a lot of shit,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, I have.
I mean,
With nothing too, and I think for girls basketball, it's different because we already don't get paid as much. So when you're dream chasing, it really is dollar and a dream out here. Like we don't get paid a lot for playing basketball, even at the most elite level. So you're really just out here grinding.
yeah. So what are your thoughts on that topic, by the way?
I think the WNBA is on its way. You'll see a big change in the next few years.
You think so?
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
I think that they're going to get paid way more. I don't think they'll get paid as much as the men, but I think they'll get paid like half.
Really?
Quarter.
Is there stuff like in the works? Like, because I don't know. You know, is there? I mean, I'm sure
there's always stuff in the works.
I mean, but I'm sure you probably are up on this stuff a little bit more, than me. But like, is there, are there things going on? Are there conversations being had, like, that you know of that, like, you think it's gonna like turn that corner for women?
I mean, I just pay attention. Like some people talk about it, and I could just tell it's going in that way. We're getting more and more as time goes on, and I think everyone now knows that it's not fair, and there's no reason why women don't get paid more, to say the least. But yeah, I definitely think it's going to push in that direction. I don't really know exactly what's going on behind the scenes, because I don't think really anyone will ever know unless we're behind the scenes with them. But there's definitely some stuff going on.
Yeah, plus you're probably better than half the guys anyway.
Don't get me started.
Right? I want to get you started. I want to get you revved up here.
For real.
But I remember, just, seriously on that topic, going back to, you told the story, in episode 97 of you, when you actually went to the tryout, for the Globetrotters, and it was you and all guys.
Yeah.
And you just like swept the floor.
I did.
Right?
Yeah, I was having a great tryout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about flow, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that day I was complete flow. So that was the complete opposite of my other tryout.
Yeah. Which was not good.
Yeah.
Right?
Two different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. So, all right. So tell me a little bit about the rookie season you had with the Globetrotters. Like you're literally all over the world.
All over the world.
What was that experience like for the first, your first year on the team? What was that like?
It was really cool all around. Just the journey. You don't realize how much we travel unless you're doing it. Literally travel every single day. Pack up your bags. Wherever you're at, pack up your bags. I'm wrestling the suitcase every morning and make sure I have all my stuff. I was telling you before, I usually accidentally leave my face wash, which is no bueno overseas, because can't get a new one. There's no Amazon over there. So, you learn a lot about the road out there and just being out there. And
being a road warrior.
Yeah. You got to act like you're in the woods sometimes. You know what I mean? Like you got to stock up on food and water and all that stuff, because it's not the same. Especially we're not always playing in Rome. Like we're not always playing in Prague. Like sometimes we're in a random city. Where are you? I don't know.
Yeah, where they don't have a lot of things. There are probably a lot of stores around, or like, and you don't know
especially food,
and you don't
night.
know where you're at.
Yeah,
right.
All around.
Like, what's that like?
It's cool. I mean, at any given time, you can like walk outside and be like, "Where am I?" So that part is cool, and I like traveling. So that's one of my favorite parts about this, is being able to travel and see different cultures, try different foods, and just experience life.
Yeah. What's been your favorite place and favorite food so far?
Well, the favorite place was actually before the Globetrotters, was Santorini, Greece. It was just breathtaking. And favorite food?
Yeah, like what's been like one of the greatest meals you've had?
That's a hard question. I feel
probably all of it.
Yeah, and there's like different names in different countries. Like I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know what it was, but like you had it and it was good.
Yeah,
right.
I'm thinking of like just images of food as you ask. Like there was this dish I had in Turkey.
Okay.
And it was really good.
Yeah.
And it had yogurt as food, like with pasta. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah, I discovered that when I was in Greece. They actually use yogurt more like a ricotta.
Okay.
Like kind of like that cheese, but good cream cheese texture to it.
Yeah.
So it just tastes good. And people have it on pasta. They have it with meat. They have it just straight up in their meal all the time.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I feel like I don't know if that's something I would try.
It's good.
Like are you the type of person that like you'll just kind of like try or you're like, ew, I don't know, that sounds weird, and like
I'll try things, but I don't try seafood.
No?
Nah.
No seafood.
No, I'm allergic to shellfish, so I don't just try random seafood.
Yeah, that's a little dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But regular food, I mean, I'll try it. Unless it's weird or something that's like a snail. I mean, I'm not saying I would never try a snail, but it's not something I would be like, oh yeah. So I'm not just like someone that tries anything.
Okay.
But it is good. You should try it.
What's that? The yogurt.
Yogurt, yeah.
Like, I don't know. It sounds weird to me.
It's good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not as sugary. You know, like here when we have yogurt, we think of like yogurt with granola. It's not necessarily that
think
type
of it as
yogurt.
like a snack or a dessert or, well, I guess it could kind of be like a healthy too if you get a healthy, type of yogurt. But
Right.
at the same time, like, like you said, like I think in America at least, there's so much sugar in almost everything. unless you go out of your way to buy something, that doesn't have it. But
Yeah.
it's like I feel like everything is very, unhealthy. Right?
Yeah, there's a lot of chemicals and just bad stuff in all the ingredients in a lot of the food.
Yeah,
so.
and probably a lot of the food that you experienced was probably a lot healthier. At least that's just what I hear from other people that travel the world. Like I've never really traveled to anywhere near the extent of you have,
well, like
overseas and stuff. But
the bread is something that I have personal experience with. When I was in Ireland, like the bread would go bad so fast if it wasn't in the fridge. I'm like, why is this going bad? It's like a day. Like, and they're like, it's fresh bread. I was like, oh,
fresh as can be.
Yeah, way different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what was that playing experience like? Like how, like you said, you're constantly like packing up your bag. You're always like, you're pretty much always on the go.
On go every
right?
day. Yeah.
Like nonstop. Like how do you maintain like your energy level, how do you keep the right mindset? Like, at least for me, like I sometimes like, when I travel, like I get stressed, especially if like I don't know where the heck I'm going, and everywhere you're going, you don't know where you're going, right?
It's just
like
always in the unknown,
right?
Being okay with the crazy. Really, it's finding comfort in the chaos.
Yeah, I'm kind of that type of person too, but I guess I don't know, it depends. It depends on what type of chaos it is.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like I thrive in like last minute, like being able to perform.
Oh yeah, me
like
too.
in the moment, like I'll procrastinate getting tasks done. Are you the same way?
Yeah.
And then as soon as like it's like, all right, we got 2 minutes, and it's like,
yeah, that's it.
Boom,
Lights come on.
Yeah, you operate the same way.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into like certain tricks. So some of that,
you're practicing a lot.
You have to already be on an unconscious, competent level with it that you could just show up, But sometimes with like speeches and stuff, I'm able to just show up. But with ball tricks and different things that require skill, I think that already has to be done prior to the show up for sure. I'm not going to just spin the ball around, throw it up and catch it without practicing right before.
Yeah. There's definitely some skill and practice needed for some of that stuff. But you mentioned, talking, doing speeches and stuff like, and, you told me that you're going to at least one school while you're home to talk to, I'm assuming some young kids.
Yeah.
Right. Like what's that about? And like, what is it about that you enjoy?
I love it. I love everything about it. It's one of my favorite things in life, literally. I mean, it's between that and basketball what my dream is, and I think that's a big milestone and dream of mine to be able to give back and say what I've been through and have people look up to that and follow in that footsteps, but in their own way. So that's something that I take pride in and I'm grateful to do.
So where are you going?
I'm going to St. Jude's.
Shout out to St. Jude's.
Yeah, just off my Old Forge visit.
Yeah. So what a group of kids, right? How old are they? Is it a basketball team or is it just like the whole
all
school?
The kids.
Everything.
All the kids. We got all the kids in there. Yep.
All of them.
Yeah, I don't know the ages of this one, but I picture elementary school kids. But yeah.
So okay, so going into one of these, speeches, talks, like what do you? Obviously, you prepare a little bit beforehand, but like as we just said, a lot of it, for you is kind of like on the fly though too, and because it comes so natural, right?
Yeah.
But what do you tell the kids? Like what's the message? Take me through that.
I pretty much just tell my story and what I've been through and how I worked really hard, but it all paid off in the end. And I talk to them like they're people. I think people talk to kids like they're kids and they, sugar things up, but I just talk to them regular. I put a little flare on when they tear off my arm. and just talk to them in a way that they can understand. And I think they get the message, and then I'm just a hype person. So then I hype them up, and then we do some trick shots, and we have some fun, and it's a good time.
Could we do a trick shot right now?
Yeah, let's go. Where's
Give
the
me
hoop?
yeah, we got no hoop, but
No hoop.
maybe we can get a ball spin going
right,
on
let's
here.
go.
What do you think?
I got you.
Do it. Let's do it. Boom. Legit. Love it. Look at this.
Got
The
you.
goat. All right, so now I think is the appropriate time. You get to wear the goat.
Oh.
You get to wear that goat chain. Do you want me to put it on?
bestowed, yeah.
You want me to put it on? Yeah. I'll have to crown you the goat chain.
Yes.
All right, hang on. Here we go.
Moment of truth.
This is it. Boom.
Let's go.
Pull it down.
Let's go. Thank you, Bill.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
It looks good.
I appreciate it.
Look at this. Love it. And we got to talk about that jersey too, by the way, the one that you're wearing.
Yeah.
This is custom with your name on it, right?
A gift. Yeah.
What's the story behind that?
I just got a nice gift when we were out in England, and football players, we just did a jersey swap. So I got a nice little Mighty football jersey.
It's awesome. Can you spin it around? Can you just do a quick little boom?
I don't know if you can see it. Is
Yeah.
it on the top?
Yeah, there we go. We got it. We got it in the shot. Love it. I got my Mighty jersey here.
Finally.
Yeah.
Get out here.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I'm gonna hang this up somewhere here. I love it. I got my ball. I'm
Got it
ready.
all.
I think we should have we should have a little one-on-one.
All right.
What do you think?
I think that you sound like everyone else.
How bad do you think you're gonna beat me?
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Everyone always asks me to play one-on-one.
Yeah?
So I pick and choose. And I'm like,
And
I
what-
don't feel like it right now.
Yeah. And what usually happens?
I usually say no.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's a hard no.
we gotta get our buddy Eric, and we're gonna have to play a little game.
All right.
And have our buddy Eric put together a film,
All right.
and we can show the people when I beat you
Okay.
that like you're just like here talking all this shit, and then I'm gonna be out there dunking on you.
I think people will pay to see this.
You think?
Yeah.
I think we should make this like a real thing.
All right. Stay
And
tuned.
on the Stacks official event, me versus Mighty,
There you go.
1v1. I'm feeling pretty confident right now.
All right.
So yeah, we'll have to put that together soon.
I'm with it.
You down for that?
I'm here.
I'm gonna beat you though.
All
I
right.
think I'm gonna beat you. Actually, no, I'm not. But I think we should play
Okay.
for sure. Just so everybody can see actually how bad I am. Yeah, you can embarrass me.
It could just be a funny video for everyone.
Pretty much. Yeah. I love it. All right, so tell me a little bit more about traveling, playing those games like all over the world. Like what's that like being in front of like all these crowds like in all these different countries?
That's the manifestation part. That's the part I definitely feel that I manifested. I'm just like, whoa. Like there's a lot going on out here. I was just dreaming this up in my little bedroom at my mom's house in Pittston, and now we out here. So, like I said, I don't think anything's impossible.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, you go from, like you said, literally with a torn off arm,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
To playing all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's, you really are like living, breathing, the dream, like perseverance, never giving up. It's like,
And we're still writing.
yeah,
We're still writing.
we're still, what is this? What chapter is this?
I think we're like midway through the book.
Are we?
Mm-hmm.
Midway?
Mm-hmm.
That far? I was going to say less.
I don't know. I don't think we're at the climax yet.
No, definitely
No,
not. No,
no.
definitely not.
I don't think the climax yet, but I think we're like approaching that.
Are you? Is there like something specific? Is there like an event or something? Like what is it? Like do you have like is a goal in mind for you?
I mean, I have a lot of goals, so we'll
that's
just
right,
see.
that's right, yeah.
We'll see. I think how this happened, something else crazy will happen because it's me. And I talk about it, so I think it happens for me like that because I'm very open about it.
Yeah. So you know, obviously you write this stuff down, right? We were talking about that before.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what else do you do? Like, do you speak it? Like, do you speak about it? Like, do you speak about like these goals and things? Like,
yeah, I'm not afraid to talk about them.
Yeah, because I mean, I like that because I'm the same type of person where like I say things out loud.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is. And then the more you say it, you know, the more likely it is to become true. And you have to really, you know, I know you know this, but like you just have to like assume that role and that you're already doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then as you get further, it becomes easier because you become more of it, more and more. Like the more you be it, the more you become it.
Yeah.
Really.
No, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally 100% agree and believe in that. And, you know, even content wise, like, you know, whatever, like I've said this before in other episodes is like whatever content you consume, like you become.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
Like, do you believe that too?
Yeah. I mean, I think everything is part of your diet. So whoever you want to expose yourself to and what you want to consume on your phone, I think that's part of your diet. Along with what you eat and what you put in your body, it's also your awareness.
Yeah, it's not just food diet.
Yeah.
Right? It's mental diet.
Yeah.
I think mental diet is most times overlooked.
Oh, and it's the most important.
Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Thoughts run our lives.
Yeah.
Because thoughts like turn into everything else. Behavior, personality, like they all start from thoughts.
Yeah. I just had somebody else on the episode on the podcast recently. And you know, we talked about, you know, it was all around mindset stuff.
Oh, good.
I think it's probably one you would enjoy. It was episode 137. Her name is Maria Trano, and she's huge into this stuff too. And one of the things that she said to me like during the episode, you know, and this like blew my mind, is that like we think, you know, we have anywhere from 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. And I forget what the exact stat is after that, but it's something like ridiculous, like 80 to 90% of those are subconscious.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, that's the crazy part.
Right? Do you like think about this stuff?
Yes.
Do you?
All the time.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, these subconscious thoughts, like what are they? You know, and like the other thing she said is, you know, a lot of them are negative and you just don't know it. And those negative things just like kind of hold you back from like really reaching your full potential, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
But then it's like, you know, how do you bring those?
I know.
How do you bring that stuff out of your subconscious? I think that's
another really crazy question, you know, that everyone wants to know the answer to. That was like one of, I think, the questions that I had when I first started more on this spiritual side of the journey was like, how do you control your subconscious? And I mean, I'm no philosopher, but from my perspective, I think you really are aware of your conscious, because I think your conscious is kind of like the gatekeeper to your subconscious. So when you're aware of, you know, like when you see something crazy and you're about to judge it, or you're about to make it into like a memory that you had, like, oh, like, you know, something bad that happened in your past or something, like you make that connection, like that's you. We don't realize. We think like those are on automatic. They're on autopilot and they're just happening. They're happening so fast we're not aware of them, but we have control over our subconscious because we have control over our conscious. So it's complicated, but we're asleep a lot to a lot of our thoughts that just slip on by. But that conscious mind is the gatekeeper that I think protects it.
You are a philosopher.
Thank you.
All right. So let's go a little deeper though. Can we go a little deeper?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. All right. So your conscious is the gatekeeper, right? So like, tell me more about that. Like you know, you have to consciously like be aware of the thoughts that you're thinking about, you know, environment, things you're listening to, people you're surrounding yourself with, right?
Yeah, especially when something happens that like might just put you in another mood. Like I said, it might just remind you of, you know, you hate buses now because your grandpa left you at the bus station when you were in kindergarten.
Right.
That actually happened to me. But stuff like that where you just like make that correlation and you don't even realize that you're doing it.
Yeah. So how do you in the moment, like specifically, like what do you do to kind of like, bring yourself back, right?
Awareness. It's when you become aware of it, that's when you can help it and notice it and be like, oh, let me move my way back over here, because it will take over. And I think you can also really see it more clearly when you're meditating. Like you'll be over here, nice meditation, and then you're off like thinking about some crazy stuff that happened like 3 weeks ago, and you're like, whoa, and you're like there, you're like, how am I here? And then you're like, wait, I'm meditating.
Yeah. How often do you meditate?
I usually meditate every day. Right now, since I came back, I haven't been, but I always have to get back, like I was talking to the guys last night about discipline. And when I'm on the road, when I'm not in discipline, I find myself getting swayed by the outside circumstances, because that is, I think, the balance between meditation, like within yourself, and then also like having your own discipline that you follow.
Yeah. I always find it, professional athletes, like you, like I'm always just very fascinated by, your drive, your work ethic, just everything surrounding what you do, because you perform at such a high level, like all the time.
Yeah, have to. There's
right?
no choice.
Yeah.
No choice.
But like, I'm always just so fascinated about, with people like you, because, just all those things that we just said, like you're constantly like performing like high level, but then like you said, you take that step back and like you meditate every day.
Have to
be able to keep you to perform right at that high level. And
I think some people don't, though, to be honest. I think a lot of people don't, and I think they're just asleep in ego land.
Yeah. So all right, so in the sports world, like speaking of professional athletes,
I
already know the answer, I think, to this, but who have you looked up to in your career and why?
MJ.
Of course.
Definitely MJ.
Yeah.
Sure. Just his mindset.
There we go. There it is.
Yeah. And mental toughness.
Yeah.
So, all the above.
Yeah. He is a true GOAT.
Yeah.
True GOAT. Anyone else?
And then, right under him, Kobe. I would say he's the next GOAT for me.
Yeah.
Just the way he portrayed himself and his work ethic. Everyone talks about balance, and you have to find a balance. You can't tell me that, my balance is the same as Kobe balance, and your wife's balance is the same as Kobe's balance. Like, that man's balance was literally beyond anyone that I've ever seen. Like, his work ethic, like 3 o'clock in the morning every day, and then having his little breaks every day. Like, I've never seen anyone that's had a mindset like him.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So everyone has, I think, a different threshold of balance. Like, for me, I'm a workaholic too. So a lot of people's balance is not the same as me because they need more of fun. And I feel like I shouldn't be having fun if I'm not where I want to be.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how obsessed are you about everything that you do?
I think it varies. I think it fluctuates. Like, sometimes, like I said, don't get me started before, because sometimes I'm like level 10, like I want to just like check rock with someone right now. Like, I want to cook someone right now. Like, I be feeling like that sometimes. Yeah. Seriously. And I'm just like, yo, like, I really just want to like express myself. I want to just like show what I got right now. And I feel that way sometimes. But right now we're chilling, It's Monday night. I'll say probably about a 7.
7.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what about basketball though? Like, speaking.
Sometimes it's 10. Like, most of the time it's 10. But I would say normally it's probably like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, like just going back to the the athlete thing and talking about like Kobe and the work ethic.
Yeah.
I mean, how obsessed do you think he was?
He's 10 out of 10 all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
But like you said, everybody has a different balance.
Yeah.
And I always find like when people talk about balance, I think some people just get it wrong in the sense that like people are telling you like, hey, slow down.
Yeah.
But usually those people that are telling you to slow down are people that maybe they need more balance in their life.
Facts.
Right?
Exactly.
Am I right?
Yes.
And it's really it's really more times like them and their, like, it's their mind, and they're kind of like portraying that's their thoughts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And
That happens all the time.
right?
Yeah.
With everything.
Yeah.
Not just the balance thing, but I think the balance thing is a big one.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
Because I'm crazy obsessed with this. You know
Yeah.
me, right? Yeah. But like, you know, some people will be like, yo, like, how are you doing all that? And it's like, well, because I feel like I'm a high performer, number one. Right. Just on a different level. Right. And just obsessed with it.
Exactly.
You know, and some days like I just go like nonstop with it. Yeah. But then there's other days where it's like, sometimes I don't do anything.
Yeah.
And that's cool too.
Exactly.
You
That's
know?
your balance.
Exactly. Yeah. And everybody, like you said, everybody has a different balance, a different threshold, you know, but like, it's just, some people I think just don't understand and don't have the right mindset about it, or just aren't as, I don't know what the right word, like as ambitious.
Yeah.
Right. As somebody like you or me. So it's like, maybe they get like, you know, your sense of like confidence. I was just telling this, so I was talking to a friend the other day too. And like, I've always been known, or at least growing up, and maybe still even today, I really don't know. But like, I feel like a lot of people have always like either called me cocky or look at me and think I'm like really cocky.
Yeah.
And I think maybe in some ways I come off that way. Right. And I just don't really think about it like until like I actually think about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like right now, or like I did the other day with a friend, and my response, you know, was I was acknowledging that like maybe I come across that way, but my response is always just, I'm not cocky, I'm just confident.
Yeah.
Right?
Heard that before.
Yeah. I'm just super confident. Like, and people, I think the people that call you cocky are, I don't know, it's something inside them that it's your confidence kind of like just bothers them. Right? I mean, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah. Because, you know, it's something inside them it's bothering them, and they have to, that's why people like just kind of like, you know, attack you for right, and they try to cut you down because they're not confident.
Right.
Right.
I agree with that.
So guys, I'm really not cocky. Everybody.
I don't think you're cocky.
Maybe sometimes, but I mean, yeah, but no, really, I just feel like I'm just a confident person. You know, naturally, I feel like I've almost always been. You know.
As you should be.
Yeah. Yeah. But like even if I'm doing something that like I'm even not the best at, like I'll still be confident about it. You know, I don't know. It's just something inside me.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just who you are.
Yeah. It's just who I am. And I feel like, you know, you're that same type of person.
Oh yeah.
And just other people like that perform at, I'll say like a certain like high level are all the same way.
Yeah.
Like I'm not afraid to do anything.
Yeah.
Like I'm not afraid to challenge you one-on-one because I'm going to beat you. That's how confident I am. No, but like seriously, like, you know, just trying something new. Like I know I'm probably going to suck.
Yeah.
But I'll still be confident about like trying it.
Right.
And like, I don't really care. I don't care what people think or if I fail, because I'll find a way to figure it out and make it work. And I don't know, just like a different type of person.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
definitely a different mindset than a lot of the average minded, you know, because I think just in society we preach to be, you know, mediocre and follow the system and all that stuff, but I think it takes that kind of entrepreneur rebellion,
I'm super
confident like mindset to kind of break that.
Yeah. And going back to you know, like you said, like, you know, the system, and it kind of just reminds me of like school. You know, like I feel like part of the school system is like kind of broken, in my opinion. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but
Definitely. Yeah.
you know, because it made me think when you said that. It made me think about, you know, I feel like in school, going back to like, you know, I'm talking like, you know, grade school and like high school and stuff, like people, they just kind of tell you to just stay the course.
Yeah.
You do this and then you do this next, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of just a system that you just kind of go through their process and do it their way, and don't really tell you to go off the path and try something different.
Right. Especially it's like generic things. Like I think when you get a real job, you know, the best teacher is always experience. So, I mean, unless you're doing like an internship where you're hands-on, I think a lot of the schooling is just long and drawn out for no reason.
Right?
Yeah. Like just teach and learn and that's it.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like a lot of it, I hate to say, is almost like a waste. Like a waste of time.
A lot
It's
of
like,
it. A lot of it.
Right?
Oh, I was the biggest walker around her. ever.
In high school? Yeah.
In college too.
Yeah.
Like it was hard for me to just sit and take in like someone else talking, especially when it's something that I'm not that interested in. For me, I was always better learning on my own. Like I can come home, read this chapter and get an A tomorrow. Like I never even had to go to school. That's just how I learn though. I'm a hands-on learner.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I was that same walker arounder. Never took a book home.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But then but I was never a good test taker though either.
Oh, really?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't.
I had that gift. I don't know what happened. I just had it.
I didn't. Wasn't a good test taker, but I'm a good project guy.
Oh, okay.
I'm a good writer. Write a paper. I could write like a 10, 20 page paper night before it's due.
Oh yeah.
Like that's how I was, you know, and then I would still get an A or even like a B plus.
Say B.
You know, like
take the B.
Yeah, right? Yeah. But I was like that same type of person, like, you know, just, you know, figure it out. Like you said, experience is the best teacher. And I feel like I definitely learn, at least, you know, me too, learn the same way that you do. It's like kind of trial and error.
Yeah.
You know?
That's definitely how you learn the best, I think.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are afraid to do that.
Yeah.
Like they're afraid to try something because they know that they're probably going to fail. You know what I mean? But it's always been I feel like the book smart people later in life don't have I don't know. It's like a flip flop, you know, because of the people that are book smart then can't apply stuff in real life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
because I was the person, I was the opposite. Like I was, you know, not book smart, but I feel like I'm street smart, and I'll put myself in any position, figure it out, teach myself, learn on my own, learn from experience, and just figure it the hell out. Right?
Absolutely. I think that's the best way to do it.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. And I mean, you know, and talk about putting yourself in uncomfortable positions. I mean, look at you, you know, before, you know, it's still even now, but even before, you know, before the Globetrotters, you were all over the place.
All over.
In scary parts of the world.
Yeah.
Right?
All over.
Yeah. So talk about that for a minute. Just, you know, you being in an uncomfortable place. How do you, what's your mindset at that point?
So, brief story. When I was in Czech Republic, they brought me and another American in, same position. When I first got there, I was cooking them because they were just letting me go. And then they kind of started, you know, I only play this, I can only do this. And then we were in this tournament and they would start us in the game and then we wouldn't go back until the fourth quarter. So obviously some mind games there. And so I'm like, what's going on? And then we figured out they're kind of just trying to get rid of us, trying to pin us against each other, trying to just break us pretty much. So the last game, they had to put me in. He's like, oh, come. That's what he said. He's oh, Mia, come. Disgusted to put me in. And it's a tight game. Right. It's a tight game. So I go in and I made a game winner, 3-point shot. And the next morning I woke up to an email that I got fired. So I was in the middle of the Czech Republic and like I said, not Prague. So we were just out here. And I actually ended up going to Poland and staying with this random girl. I knew she was a real person, though, because she knew someone that I knew. So I knew she was a basketball player. And so I stayed with her. She said I could just stay with her until I figure out my next team because I said, Mom, I'm not coming home. She's like, please come home. And I said, no, I'm going to figure this out. So I ended up just crashing with the girl in Poland for 2 weeks and then took my career to Ireland. So, I mean, I was just out there at that point. And in that moment, when I was out there, I just went back to square one and started getting my film ready and just sent it out to thousands of coaches like I did the first time. And then very quickly, I got a job.
Yeah. So I just want to kind of circle back almost like to the beginning of your journey because I love stories and you know, just of people that, you know, just keep going.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. And I mean, your story is that exact story. And I feel like so many people would have quit.
Oh, yeah.
Much sooner.
So many times.
Right?
If I was most people, I would have quit in high school.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I'm sure even though you never did quit, I'm sure you probably had thoughts at least sometimes, you know, having like when you're down and out, like, I can't do this anymore.
I don't think I've ever thought that I would like quit basketball. So, I mean, it's never been like, I'm going to quit. Like when I was quitting softball, I knew I was quitting. I wasn't playing softball anymore.
Yeah.
But this was more like a fed up, like, and I'll come back to it indefinitely. Like, I don't know when I'm coming back, but
yeah,
I just need to let this go for right now. It was never like, I'm never
like
going to
totally,
pick up a ball.
you're still keeping it on the table.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Just walking away for a bit.
Yeah, a sabbatical.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Right?
An unknown amount of time.
Yes. Yeah.
Taking a break from it because clearly getting cray out here. So
yeah. So what's you know, just going back to, you know, like I said, that mindset of, you know, never quitting. Like how you know, how did you stay motivated and driven? Like how did you stay the course like all these years?
It's hard to say. I think there's multiple reasons. I think it's within me that I've always just known that I'm just great. Like you said with the born confident thing, like it's just knowing that you're a high performer. I've always had that inner knowing. And also my grandpa told me something, this is a nugget I'm about to drop.
Drop the nugget.
From the OG.
Wish I had another goat chain to give you.
This one goes to my grandpa though. He's an OG for real. You know, he coached at JR, won all those games. He's in the Hall of Fame in the 570, so he's a real GOAT. But he was very hands-off with me, and he was never someone that was like, all right, go make 50 layups in the driveway. Like, never. It was more, you know, mindset. So he would always say to me, like, when we were watching basketball, no matter what level, like, I was a little kid, and he'd be like, can you see yourself playing at that level? So he would always ask me that, even like growing up. Can you see yourself playing at that level? And then when I was like watching D1, you know, like once I was in high school, I'm like, yeah, like I could play at that level. And now it's the same way. Like I just watch people and it's part confident. And I think part that mindset that he gave me was I could play with him. So let's go. Let's lace him up. Yeah.
It's just like you just constantly level up.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so was there anything else from your childhood? You know, speaking of that, you know, as you just kind of talked about that a little bit, was there anything else like from your childhood that you remember or that you just took with you like throughout your whole life in terms of like confidence and mindset and just staying the course? Is there anything else?
That's a great question.
Yeah,
I think my grandma loves sports, so just her passion behind me was enough to light me up. I was ready to go.
Biggest fan, right?
Biggest fan. So she was full force behind me. So, I mean, I was just out there, but it was her driving. She was out here really.
She was driving the bus, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was just the one on the court, but she always just knew how to talk to me about anything. You know, when I scored 31, she scored 32. So she's like, it didn't beat me. So just like her saying that, then I had to score 39 and get her. But, you know, she had a great way, I think, of communicating to me and driving me, even when things like went bad. Like she just knew. It was always her.
Yeah.
The realist.
So it's just kind of like that driving force. Like now it's probably part of your, what is it? Subconscious?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But in a good way.
Paradigm.
Yeah.
You know that word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paradigm shift.
Yeah.
This is getting wild, people.
Yeah.
We're like 3 levels deep, like the movie Inception here. We're like mindset. This is like mindset inception.
I like it.
Yeah, no, but like those things, I just like to, you know, talk about those things. I think a lot of times there are things I think in our childhood that we, you know, I think unconsciously, like you don't know, right? Like so now you're like at that time you didn't realize that, you know, all those things with your grandmother and your grandfather you didn't realize the effect that the two of them on your playing career in two different, you know, both in two different aspects, right? You didn't
totally different,
right? Like
totally different.
Yeah, and like you never really thought about it like until probably, you know, at least maybe recently, right?
Yeah.
But, of the effect that they had unconsciously, even though it was like conscious at the time, but unconsciously, and now a lot of those things, those thoughts reside probably in your subconscious, and you're but you're acting on those things and just performing and just constantly moving forward.
Yeah.
Right?
And I was an only child too. So I think that also pushed me more because
Why so?
I just was out in the driveway. I was working. I was getting to it. I mean,
Just by yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, most of the time. And then once I was all polished up, I'd be like, yo, boys.
Let's play.
Let's ball.
Yeah. And then did you beat them up or what?
Cooked them.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Had to.
Had to.
Literally. All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just playing with the boys in the neighborhood. I played football too with the boys in the neighborhood, but just doing that made girls so much easy. Like, it was way easier playing against girls because once I was playing against boys and then you played against girls like in school ball. Like, we're playing out in the streets.
Yeah, rough and tough,
and then
right?
you play in the school ball. I'm like
piece of cake.
running around everyone. Like, it was just easy.
Yeah, cakewalk.
Literally.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's also important too, to be, you're just surrounding yourself with, people that are better than you, right?
Yeah.
And, putting yourself in that position where, you're already performing at a higher level before you actually then go on to perform.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. And I did that growing up, and I played 2 years older too. So by
Yeah.
the time high school came, I'd already seen these cats.
You already shoved them off the street court, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so there was rematch, but you were already like a couple steps ahead,
Yeah.
right?
And I actually had also a few game winners, like, as a kid, which was cool.
Yeah.
I had a 3-point shot. I remember my one teammate still talks about it. She's like, you had 3 people on you. I shot it from 3, like, top of the key, and I drained it. We were in, like, 5th grade. It was crazy. And then when I was in 8th grade, playing on the 9th grade team, I shot it from where actually, like, the 4-point line is now, which is pretty crazy. Like, the volleyball lines, like, right by half court. Buzzer beater, drained it. And that was crazy, too. Like, I wish we had, social media and phones like we have now. Because, I mean, that's history now. But that happened, and it was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, not being able to document stuff as much back then.
Right? It makes us seem old.
Sheesh. Kids nowadays. I feel like my parents now saying it's like kids have it so easy now.
That's what I'm saying.
Like a lot easier, But just different time, different circumstances, and
literally only a few years.
I know it's crazy, right? Just a few years difference could have had all those on, could have had all those. You could be putting them on TikTok right now.
I know.
Right?
They're for the memes though.
Yeah.
Who was there knows.
The
Everybody
OGs,
knows.
the real OGs
Yeah.
got the memories, right?
Exactly.
Especially those 3 people that you right?
Yeah.
Do you remember who those people were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever see them or still talk to any of those people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know some of them from the Valley West game. Yeah, I know who they are.
Yeah.
And I still, like, if I saw them, I'll say what's up to them.
Yeah.
And then
And they're probably thinking to themselves like, damn, and Mia shot that 3-pointer over me. Right?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think about that probably for the rest of my life if I was them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, too bad for them.
I know.
But hey, life goes on.
Yeah, they're part of it, part of the story.
Part of the journey.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool. I mean, for them to, now look back at that and, out of all the people you probably played ball with, I mean, has anyone else ever made it as far as you? Probably not.
No, not anyone that I knew, like, on a personal level.
Right. Yeah. Like no one like locally.
Yeah. So that's probably like their hype up story.
Yeah. Yo, that girl, she shot that 3-pointer over me. Right. Now when they see you on TV and stuff, and like traveling all over the world, like that's that girl. Probably gonna be telling their kids.
Yeah. I actually made friends with, I think, all of my high school nemesis. So if you're listening, what's up? We're cool.
All right, everyone's all cool. Everyone,
all good now.
Good. Not that I didn't think anybody would, but it's just kind of a funny thing. You know, it's like just old sports rivalries.
Oh yeah, seriously, they were serious.
Yeah, for sure. Growing up as a kid
in the valley.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, serious stuff.
Sports in the valley. That's some serious stuff.
The real deal.
Everyone knows everything.
Yeah. Yep. One thing we didn't touch on was your I'm just thinking about it now because I'm looking at your jersey on the table here, but your line of merch, like what are you up to? You're doing some big things, right?
Yeah. Main product still sports bras. Got a whole new batch coming in, all different designs. I feel like the first designs were more plain, like solid colors, and now we got some serious patterns going on. So we got fresh sports bras dropping soon.
Nice. Where at? How can people buy them? You
can go to my main website, miahopkinsworld.com, and you can find everything about me on there, from my merch to what I'm up to if you want me to come and train you or come to your school, anything.
What's your brand about?
My brand's all about perseverance. My brand is a representation of me and going past any limits that may present themselves along the way. So the slogan is Unveil the Truth. The brand is Star Mia. And Unveil the Truth means to uncover any type of limitations that pop up as you're going by. They'll come up. They're going to come up. If you're going for something, there's going to be some sort of obstacle or limitation. So when it gets there, be like, oh, this is you. And then you got to just stay down. You got to stay 10 toes down and really lock in and jump the hurdle.
Boom. Love it.
Got you.
Yeah. All right. So how can our listeners, you're home for a short period of time. By the time this comes out, you're gonna be in some other part of the world.
Yeah.
Right. So
probably Texas.
Yeah. Or Texas. But how can our listeners connect with you, follow you online, and follow your journey? You playing all over. Where do people need to go?
So you can follow my social media at WeABallAKid. I'm sure Bill will write it nicely in the description.
Yes, absolutely. And Eric, maybe too. Eric Curtis. Shout out to Eric Curtis.
Shout out Eric Curtis. That's my guy.
Our guy.
Best cameraman in the valley.
That's right. All right. Where else can people find you? TikTok?
Yep.
Same.
All social media is the same except for Facebook. Mia Hopkins World. Got a nice Facebook page now, and I have an assistant, and he posts on there.
Awesome.
And I was just with my grandpa and some of his friends. They're like, keep the videos coming. So we're definitely going to stay on Facebook because I think, there's a wide range of an audience there, and I want to keep everyone tuned in.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Love it. I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Bill.
Yeah, this has been fun. It was super cool to have you back for this part 2.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we got to catch up, and I look forward to just seeing you constantly grow. I love it.
Constantly.
I love it. You're just crushing it all the time.
Thank you, fam. Appreciate
all the time.
You.
Seriously. I mean, I love it. It's contagious. People see you doing that, and it's like makes me wanna.
That's the
work
goal.
harder.
That's the goal.
Mm-hmm. So keep doing what you're doing.
You too, Bill. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
All right, Mia Hopkins on the Stacks podcast in the Blue Door Studio. Thanks for joining me.
Appreciate it.
If you want to see more On the Stacks content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/onthestackspodcast or search the hashtag #OnTheStacks on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. We'll catch you next time on The Stacks.